Alright, so first thing I want to say here is I know a good chunk of these decks are from last format, but there is a gold mine of information here for the next format. I know a new list goes into effect Monday, and a lot of players are very curious to know what is going on with the format. So scroll through this video, take a look at the deck list, all top 8, and this was filmed beforehand. But I do want to say I owe a shout out here to the winning regional list coming out of Pasadena. Tyler Backus topped his first regional. I promised that I'd show off his list, and I think we'd wrap it up and do a nice little introduction for this list, or for this video, just because information is going to be, pretty interesting out there. So congratulations, Tyler, on topping your first regional. And for those of you that are desiring information, let's dig on into what is still alive in this video, shall we? What an interesting time. So we're really covering the entire South Africa regional today. Antoine reached out to me and said, "Hey Robbie, I heard in the past you were curious to see what was going on in the South African metagame." I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'd love to hear what's going on in these other regions. So he reached out to me, sent me some information. I also have the other first place list from this event I also covered on another video, but we're going to kind of walk through this. There are 8 deck lists here. So the first one is 8th place, Brian Lilford. There were 68 people at this regional. Now remember, that's a relatively smaller number, but in terms of metagame and things like that, it really just depends on how things are going here. So this is honestly probably one of the more standard lists I've seen for our homies, the Magical Musketeers. Dimension Shifter kind of finding his way into some of these builds, which has actually been kind of interesting. Having Dimension Shifter be a means to kind of turn off your opponent's graveyard. Also seeing triple copies of the Crooked Crown is kind of interesting as well. But this acts as another extender, turning off more main monster zones from your opponent. Like when your opponent establishes that key linked monster up at the top for an arrow, and you could use Crooked Crown to deny them the ability to put something in a specific zone, that's fine. I'm also a bit questionable of the 2 Ties of the Brethren here, but I understand there's only so much room that you can kind of pack into a deck like this, especially when you're already doing like super polymerizations and stuff like that. And I also think here, like, he felt that he needed the triple desires, which I can also agree with. Like, as you're starting to go through combos and things like that, and the more that you play this deck, it feels very correct to see this. Also, shout out to the tech choice down here, D-Barrier. When you're in a smaller region like this, more crazy things are going to happen. So I like this. This is a cheesy little tech option, something I wouldn't have actually thought about wanting to do again at this point, but I mean, hey, we take those. So yeah, that is Brian Lilford's list, at least for the things that stick out to me. It's interesting. Next up is Trevin Governor's 7th place list out of this event. Now, Standard Thunder, we've been seeing Dynamiscus, seeing less and less play, actually. And here we've chosen to go for straight 3 copies of this. Still recurable off of itself if you really want to revive it. But the only thing we care about here is we're just pinging something off of the field. Like, don't have to worry about my opponent's Orcus cards. I can ping off my opponent's multi-roll. Like, really, anything that you really want to do outside of that, it's still available to you here. Also, shout out to the one Dunko Seka. The nice little tech choices. Outside of that, this build feels very standard to me. In terms of ratios, yeah, everything looks about where it needs to be for this. So yeah, this is Trevin Governor's 7th place list. 6th place over here is Henry Hahn. Henry, you're a bold man playing Crusadia OTK in a Nibiru-infested format. You're my hero. I will say that. I also like that we are packing the Goliath over here. Really cute because LP down here can actually bring out our homie. Like, good tech synergy. We're standard Crusadia OTK, but we also get access to Black Garden to deny the opponent. I really like that. We're also playing Crusadia Crawler. Special to affect a link monster points too, you can add a World Legacy card from your deck to your hand. Oh. Oh, I see shenanigans here. But yeah, I am liking the Black Garden tech to push through for the OTKs. And in terms of like innovation and things like that, I really like this list, at least for the development of what he was trying to do. Next up, man, Thunder here just loves me. So this is 5th place. This was piloted by Rian Brevitekbach. I mean, I'm terrible with names. I apologize. This man, okay, so I don't see Dynamiscus here. That's a good thing. I see we're playing Aloof and triple copies of Battery Man Solar. But this man pulled a straight page out of the last YCS in Europe, deciding those Mystic Mines. This card is pretty much an auto win condition against certain decks. Like, we saw it in Top Cut, and we've seen it in the past. You stick this card on the field, you're going to go into a winning position in certain matchups. Like, you just have to establish a no Thunderboard. So, like, in the mirror match, you stick this bad boy on the field, you just watch your opponent go, but what do I do, though? I don't have an out for that. So that's probably one of the more terrorizing things about this card as a whole, especially in a deck like this. Like, you stick it, you pretty much are going to win down. Next up, 4th place, Adrian Schmitz. Salaman Great List. Now, everything's looking pretty standard here for what I see. Pretty much back and forth on tech options of Strike as to some other builds I've seen in the past. Also, triple Desires instead of 2 Desires is pretty alright. Outside of that, this is looking pretty normal. I'm starting to see more and more double Will of the Salaman Great. This card is starting to see a lot more play in doubles, and it's kind of interesting. Side deck choices down here. Yep, the tech option of the other Roar has really been coming up. Also, duel evenly. Also, shout out to this guy for playing Reaper in the year 2019. You're my hero. You actually stick this off and probably go into a really good position overall. Like I said, there's not much else to really talk about Adrian's list here. Outside of those are the key things that looking pretty alright. Oh boy. So there's a 14 card extra deck to this. I kid you not. I gotta double check the name here. Shin Sang. Piloting the True Draco list. Now, my boy here, this man's is my hero. Like, his extra deck is lit. So, like, we're playing Beauregard Dragon. We're never gonna get to this guy, but like, we're playing it. Like, this man's a savage. This man's probably playing the best extra deck he could, minus, you know, the extra card over here. Also, Fossil Dyna's in the side. That's an interesting tech option. Like, this deck doesn't care about special summoning as much. Like, okay, so like, we have one trap card that's specials, but like, this is a tech option. Especially like if you can hide behind apocalypses and keep having your opponent's stuff. Huh. It's really good. Also, seeing D-Fissure in the main deck here is really good. This man tech this deck out. I like Waking the Dragon, D-Fissure, his extra deck. Like, I like this quite a lot, actually. So, congrats. Good job, Shen. I actually really like this. If I was playing True Draco right now, I'd probably play something cheesy along these lines, like Metaltron 2 OP. Like, you guys joke about this card. You're like, oh, it's all bad and everything. But, like, when this card gets going, it wins games. Next up, we have, this was 2nd place. This was piloted by Romano Pillay. And I don't know what more I need to talk about than my boy Grand Manju here ruining formats. But my boy Grand Manju here still ruining formats. The whole premise of this deck, turbo, do Orcust combo, troll your opponent with the Grand Manju beats, turbo through the entire deck. You know, you're literally just danger draw turbo till you get to the kill turn. Or you be really cheesy and you set this while you got everything removed, and then watch your opponent attack into it as they end their own dueling career. I've seen it happen. It shouldn't happen, but it actually does. I'm also liking the triple danger zone in this. I believe that this was coming out of the American list 2 we saw at YCS Niagara. This was being cited. So definitely still doing relatively well here. And then the first place list we have here is Ben Lynn's Infernoid, Sky Striker, Orcust, Thunder Dragon. Now, I talked about this a little bit in another video, but this list is particularly interesting because you are able to take all of the aspects of everything that you've seen in these other decks, and you're able to play it all together and not get punished for it. I think it's probably one of the more interesting things about a hodgepodge like this in today's metagame, is it will have success because all of the engines, while they may not look like they flow together, there is indirect synergy with everything, and it is just a particularly interesting creature in the long run. Like, I will give this to the format, like, stuff like this is interesting, and this man went undefeated in Swiss, so that should just solidify how good this deck actually was at this event. Like I said, 68 people, doesn't really matter. Like, this is another piece of the metagame from outside the world that, you know, not everybody's going to have 300, 400, 900 man regionals. It's just not how it works. So Anton and your whole community, you know, shout out to Ben also for sending in his list to me. It means a lot that you guys want to spread information like this. So guys, what do you think about these lists? Please leave a comment down below and what you guys think, and we'll catch you guys on the flip side. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.